You send him 41,000 emails, 350 voice messages, 744 tweets, 48 Facebook messages, and 106 letters.
Critical condition continues. I've obviously been making complaints on the videos for the last 2 nights of children throwing, well, what I believe to be 14 to 18 year olds, a gang of them or a group of them, about 10 of them. Whilst I was in the tent earlier on last week, or later last week, I got bombarded with stones, sticks. The tent got bombarded with stones and sticks whilst I were in it. I shouted at them, they ran off, and they did the exact same the day after, shouting pussy hole and throwing big heavy stones, big sticks, and a vast array of stuff, and he ran off. So I followed him. I couldn't catch him, and the tent were fine. Last night I didn't sleep in the tent. I slept somewhere else. I've come back this morning, the tent's completely wrecked and destroyed, with urine poured all on the inside of the tent, a heavy duty log put straight through the back of the tent, completely wrecking the tent, and a vast array of Mickey Mouse toys left all around the tent. So they've scattered Mickey Mouse toys around the tent and put a big log straight through the back of it and scattered piss all inside of it, urine. So it's obviously unusable. So I'm on the street. This is significantly out of character. I've never seen this in my life, especially after they've seen me and they've completely ignored me. So they've seen me, I've shouted at them, sworn at them, they've completely ignored me and come back the next day when I'm not there and completely destroyed the tent. So they've ignored my power and killed my power. It's completely wrecked my tent, all my belongings, and it's wrecked. There's urine everywhere, all the bedding's destroyed, everything. This is another time where it's happened, the third time where it's happened. So, and also crippling, as it's happened, crippling, degrading internally. A detective apologising to me and pulling out every single bit and my ability to apparently kill power or do anything about it. So I'm in a complacent, accepting state. Basically, they've killed my power again, like they do everywhere. This is my entire life. This has got my entire life in it. They've put my life into this tent and then they've destroyed it again. This is like I've made the complaint time and time again. They're putting my power into something, putting my life into something, then committing crime against it and destroying it, whether it's sex with women and women having sex with somebody else, whether it's personal belongings, materialistic belongings. They're getting my scooter stolen, my pickaxe stolen, my game device stolen, a shiny Charizard Pokemon as a child. Basically, they're putting your life into something or your power into something, then killing your power. And this is another example of that. They've put my power into having a tent rather than sleeping in a doorway, and kids have come and destroyed it. This is now the third time it's happened, and I can't afford to keep doing it. This is in a very desolate place. I don't speak to anybody whatsoever. There's no reason for these individuals to have done it. They've done stuff like this in the area also, where they've damaged stuff. I've not given these individuals any reason to do it, so it's not like targeted or personal. They've just destroyed my tent impulsively, antisocial behaviour, and this is the third time it's happened. And all day, crippling, degrading with detectives saying sorry into my power to do anything about it and stripping it out. So basically, another simulated situation or another scenario where they've committed crime against me from the system in a controlled state. They've created a scenario between these children where they're going to smash my tent up and commit crime against my power. They've poured piss and urine all over my bedding, all over where I sleep, all over my belongings. They've thrown a big log straight through the back of the tent, and obviously I've not got the money I can't keep buying this equipment because the system's committing crime against me. And it might be said, what do you mean the system's committing crime against you? It's the fact it's significantly out of character, and these children have actually seen me this time. These 14 to 18 year olds have seen me because I pursued them and they ran off. And they've ignored my power, the fact that I will kick the fuck out of them, or I'll ring the police, or grab them, and they've come back and vandalised my tent again and poured urine all over it to humiliate my power and commit crime against my power. What I'm saying by that is they're ignoring me and humiliating me all for it, and ignoring the fact that I've got physical presence. So this is obviously reoccurring throughout my life for over 30 years, whereby people are committing crime against my power, killing my power, and getting away with what they want at my expense. All day now since yesterday, I've been subject to crippling braking sessions, imitating a detective constable, inflicting crippling degrading, apologising, saying I'm sorry into my power, and stripping every single bit of my power out, all my frustration, all my ability to act, all my ability to defend myself, all my power really. They've put all my power into this tent and then killed it again and started saying sorry into it and stripping it out. So it's just a method of mortification of self, where they're putting your life into something, then committing crime against it from the system. So what ends up happening is you end up just being a victim of crime all day. It's not just a victim of crime, it's not always illegal. Like I've said, I've lost out on sex with 50 women. I proclaim 50 women, but I've never been in a sexual relationship because they continually go and sleep with the same reoccurring people time and time again. So every single woman I've ever met has ignored my power and gone and slept with somebody else. The male's ignored my power and gone and slept with somebody else. And I've always known, as I've said in every video, it's illegal because it's evident to me that it's alien behaviour. There's no way whatsoever they'd ignore my power or be able to commit crime against me, and they are doing it. What I'm trying to say is this: I believe the officers have submitted information whereby apparently people commit crime against me by ignoring my power, and they overpower me to commit crime against me, whether it's with women, whether it's with criminal possessions and they vandalise it or steal it, whether it's in every aspect. They've created a genetic or a behaviour flaw whereby people are entitled to commit crime against me and they ignore my power, overpower me and kill my power. So all my life's gone into a tent, and randomly I've been a victim of Irish crime where they've thrown a heavy log straight through the back of it. If I'd have been in it, I'd have been potentially dead. If I'd have been in the tent and that log went through the tent, it would kill somebody. They've thrown a log potentially 35 kilo in weight straight through the back of the tent. It's destroyed the tent, and also poured urine all over the inside of it, all over the bedding, all over the places where I sleep, and all over my possessions. So these individuals have seen me. They know that it's going to be physical violence or restraint. They're either going to be punched. Simple as that. I've got to do it in self-defence to stop these individuals coming to the tent, or I'll restrain them and take them to their house and see what the parents say about it. Either way, it's going to end up in a physical confrontation, but the officers are committing crime against me internally, saying sorry to me and stripping out all my ability to do anything about it. And this is the exact same thing that's cost me 60 to 80% of my life, because apparently people are entitled to get on my power and commit crime against me and then tell me they're sorry and they're allowed to get away with it. So basically they've made a punch bag where people kill my power and they get away with it, and it cost me my life. Like I said, I'm now homeless, living on the street again. I've lost all my possessions again that I've only just built back. This is the third time it's happened. They've destroyed all my possessions again. This is the third time it's happened. I can't keep spending this kind of money. I'm sleeping on the streets again because I can't sleep in the tent 'cause it stinks of piss because they've vandalised it and destroyed it. I don't get paid for another 2 weeks. I can't buy another tent, and even then, because the officers and the system saying sorry into my power and pulling it out, I can't address the issue and stop them from doing it. So if I buy another tent, they'll just do it again, because the officers are committing crime against me, and that's why I've lost out on sex with every woman I've ever spoken to. Because as a child, I've not had the power. They've said, you're not getting power, and allow people to commit crime against me. And it's recurringly happened, and it's cost me sex with every woman I've ever met, because people are getting on my power and having sex with them and humiliating my power. That's basically, they're saying you're stupid and people are allowed to get on your power to commit crime against you. They've cost me about 60 to 80% of my life. They've cost me sex with every woman I've ever spoken to. I've been assaulted 50 times. They've created a behaviour or genetic flaw whereby people overpower me and commit crime against me, and they're entitled to do it and say sorry to me. So basically they've made a punch bag where people are entitled to commit crime against me and kill my power, and I can't do anything about it, and physically restrain me from doing anything about it. So now I'm sat here needing justice in the system, and they're saying they're creating power for themselves, but they're not creating for the power for themselves here when I'm being a victim of crime, and it's evidently got nothing to do with my natural life course, and I'm being a victim of serious crime, committing crime against me from the system, and they don't know what that is. So they need to start knowing what that is, because the fact is it's costing me, like I said, it's cost me 60 to 80% of my life. I'm still waiting for a forced suicide, and they're still doing stuff like this, where they're controlling school kids to shout pussy hole, fat wanker, and throw 35 kilo logs through my tent. So I'm in a situation where I'm being a victim of crime, where I'm having my power killed and humiliated, but I'm not getting anything for it. So when police officers get put up with being a victim of crime, they get paid £36,000 a year, and they've had a good upbringing. I've had nothing for it. I don't get anything for it. I'm a punch bag. So I've crime committed against me, where people can humiliate me and degrade me and commit crime against me, but they're not paying out for it. They're not doing justice for it, and they're not making me a multimillionaire. So what are they doing for it? So I'm basically in a situation being used as a punch bag by the system, whereby they can control me into getting assaulted, they can control me into meeting women, and then they go and have sex with somebody else. So I'm dating a woman or speaking to a woman for 6 months, a year, and they're controlling into having sex with somebody else, usually the same people over and over again, because they've made a situation whereby they're entitled to get on my power and commit crime against me. So they've stopped me from acting out on these people having sex with the women I speak to. And now for 20 years, the same people, the same males have slept with every single woman I've ever spoken to, every woman I've dated and every woman I've been sleeping with, because the system's allowed them on my power, saying I'm stupid and they're entitled to commit crime against me. Basically, I'm a punch bag or a vessel for people to get full lives out of it and kill my power at my expense. Essentially, I've lost 80% of my life for other people to get the best life they can have at my expense, sitting on my power, and it's cost me the best years of my life. I've now got to sleep in a doorway because there are officers committing crime against me from the system, because it's allowing children, a gang of children, to vandalise my tent and humiliate my power, calling me a fat cunt, which is criminal. It's high risk abuse. And so basically I'm now being subject to being called a fat cunt, a pussy hole, and having all my belongings destroyed, so I've got nowhere to sleep, and then they're stripping out my power to attack them or defend myself, saying sorry into my power. So I'm now in a situation whereby I can't do anything about it, but these individuals are entitled to my power to commit crime against me. So they basically said, you're not getting power, but other people are entitled to commit crime against you at your expense, and it's going to cost you 80% of your life for other people to get a life at your expense. Essentially, I've lost 80% of my life for situations like this that's reoccurring, whereby I'm being a victim of crime, or people are committing crime against my power, humiliating me, committing crime against me, or apparently killing my power to get full lives or build full lives at my expense. So I've had to suffer or sacrifice my life, or this is the exact situation. I've had to sacrifice all my belongings I've got to sleep in a doorway and have all my belongings stink of piss and be humiliated and abused when I don't know these individuals. For these individuals to go back to their homes full of power, full of impulsive power, where they've committed crime against somebody. So they're entitled to commit crime against somebody and kill the power, and I'm sat here with nothing. But they're not accounting for this nothing. I've got nothing for it. I've now got to sleep in a doorway. I've lost all my belongings because the system's entitled kids to kill my power and commit crime against me and get away with what they want, saying sorry into my power. So internally, all I've been subject to now for 2 days is crippling apology by a detective, humiliating my power, snagging my power, saying sorry into my power. I've now got a tent full of piss with all my belongings destroyed, no money and nowhere to sleep, so that a detective can communicate sorry into my power and commit crime against me from the system by creating a situation whereby my possessions get vandalised, or they kill my power that they've put into materialistic objects. Crippling degrading still continues. My tent's been completely destroyed by some children, and they've left a vast array of Mickey Mouse toys around the tent. The same word, or the same word I used to use against the detective. So basically, they've scattered Mickey Mouse toys around the tent, and Mickey Mouse is the same terminology I use whilst arguing with police. So it's just a coincidence. Does that make sense? My tent's been completely destroyed, and there's a vast array of Mickey Mouse toys. Mickey Mouse has got nothing to do with my life. The only time I've had any affiliation with Mickey Mouse is when I've been arguing with police officers or probation officers, and I've told them that they're Mickey Mouses. So basically work that one out for yourself. The only run-ins I've had with Mickey Mouses with probation officers and police officers. My tent's now been completely wrecked and destroyed, full of piss. Completely wrecked. I've now got to sleep on the street with a vast array of Mickey Mouse toys left around it. work that out. That's because they commit crime against you from the system and kill your power from the system. Then they're stripping your power out. It's called high risk mortification of self, where they're committing crime against your power and stripping it out. Crippling braking sessions continues. Crippling degrading continues, stripping out the power. Just some of the damage, look, some of the Mickey Mouses. Look at all those projectiles. Look at that. It's off a wall, a brick there. I've smashed that in half, but that was full. There's those sticks, all those down there. They completely destroyed, completely wrecked my tent. It stinks of piss.